It's because she's a player.
Are you cheating on your husband?
No.
Never, not one time. Look at you smiling. You can't even say
Thank
it.
you,
In today's session of Divorce Court, after 1.5 years of marriage, Scott Lambaria says he's divorcing Vanessa Olguin because she's a cheater.
I set up a Facebook account and I pretended to be somebody else, holler at her, and she did.
We have unraveled the fabric of our society from the inside out on this internet nonsense. It used to be work having to cheat. You'd have to leave the house.
But Vanessa says she wants a divorce because Scott is broke.
This man owes $43,000 in arrears and child support.
If magically somebody wrote a check today, cleared up his child support, you'd go on with it.
I would. You want to write it?
Oh, absolutely.
Don't worry about it.
She's the judge who gives rules on the law and life. She's intense with common sense. She's Judge Lynn Toler, where real couples deal with real life. Divorce Court. We now join Scott Lambaria and Vanessa Olguin as Judge Lynn hears their case.
Mrs. Olguin, you have brought Mr. Lambaria here seeking $4,100 because you say he pawned 3 wedding rings that were given to you by your ex in order to pay bills. Before we get to that, though, I want to talk to Mr. Lambaria. Can you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why we've ended up in divorce court today?
We ended up in divorce court, Judge, because Vanessa is a player.
Player!
P-L-A-Y-A. Player.
Player?
When I first met her, she was already married. I didn't know that. She kept it on the down low.
Uh-huh.
After dates and time spent together.
Oh, my God. No. Your Honor.
Hang on. Let him finish.
After dates and time spent together, she finally came out because there were certain days that I couldn't get with her, and I couldn't figure out why.
She was with her husband.
She was married. Husband was working out of town Monday through Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, I couldn't see her. So by the time I found out, I was already sprung. So,
right.
Sprung. About that.
Mrs. Olguin, let me ask you a question. I know a lot of women out there just can't find a guy, can't get a guy, can't get a man. You seem to have you've had a few. How do you manage it?
I'm not gonna lie, I've had a few. I've been married. This is my 3rd marriage.
Your 3rd marriage?
Yes. But, I mean, nobody knows what really happened with my other 2 marriages. I mean, no one knows what I know. And, well, he knows what happened to my last marriage. And it wasn't even...
Was he what happened to your last marriage?
He was part of it.
He
but,
was
I mean,
part
we
of
were
it?
already separated. But he said, how do you turn around and say I wasn't married?
Separated,
Yes, I was separated, living in a different... I mean, it was... How are you going to sit here and lie? He's a liar. When I met him, we were separated. I even told him, when you want to talk about... You were married, too. What are you talking about? He was married, too. He just
I was separated, Your Honor. I was separated. I was separated.
He was separated,
Judge.
but still,
I was separated.
You know, I got divorced.
Hang on, let him finish. You were separated
I was
and
separated, living on my own, not living at home with my wife, not at home taking care of my children. I was out on my own already.
And she was still with him. You just couldn't see her on weekends. Because that's when he came home from work.
Exactly.
Is that what
Friday
happened?
night?
Did you not see him on the weekends because of that?
Yes.
Well, okay. Ms. Olguin, what's the matter with Mr. Lambaria?
I'm bringing Scott to court because I want a divorce because this man owes $43,000 in arrears and child support. These aren't my kids. These are his kids from previous marriages.
How many children do you have from previous marriages?
3.
3? And are you that far back in child support?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
You're still up.
No, I'm not.
You're a little backed up.
I'm backed up, but it shouldn't be that amount. I just made a $1,500 payment here just a couple of weeks ago.
I had to bail him out of jail.
So you're working on it?
Oh, I'm working on it.
You're working on it? I had to bail him out of jail.
Well, Mrs. Olguin, let me ask you a question. When you got with him, you knew he had kids, right?
I didn't know that. When I first got with him, I did not know you had children. I didn't know that one day he had to go to court. I asked what court was for. He said child support. I was already living with him, and I said, what kind of child support? Child support I'm behind on. Back pay. This was already I was already in love with the man, so I wasn't just going to get up and leave because he was, I thought it was just like, it was a little money. But yeah, right, you're talking about, he was behind $12,000. He brought it down to $7,000. But he's been to jail twice already.
I object,
twice.
Your Honor.
So you mad at him?
I object.
I don't understand why. I mean, when you married him, you knew he had back child support.
No,
You
he was
understood
taking
that
care
was
of
out
business.
there.
He was taking care of business, but then he lost, you know,
He lost his job.
Yeah, but why?
He fell on hard times.
No, he didn't fall on hard times. He gets into fights with his bosses. Because that's why his child support don't get paid, because he don't keep a job.
Your Honor, my child support
keep a
don't get paid because I got to pay for these manicures, pedicures, hair done. Those $80
Are you
shoes.
working right now,
Those shoes, I pay $80 for.
Your Honor.
Mr. Lambaria, are you working right
High
now?
maintenance, yes I am.
Your
You
Honor,
are
he's working
Yes,
because
I
of
am.
my stepdad. My stepdad hired him to be
Went
the
into
general
business,
manager
we
of
opened
Paint
up
and
a paint body shop.
But
Yes.
why? Because my stepdad gave him the job. If it wasn't for my stepdad, he wouldn't have a job. He likes to argue, and he even argues with my stepdad and my mom because that's their business. But they put up with him because of me.
Are you a hothead, Mr. Lambaria?
I used to be.
No,
You
he's
used to
still
be.
Used to
there.
be.
And
Used
did you lose a lot of jobs because you used to
No.
pop off a lot?
Yes, you did. When he was working on
After being a
base.
police officer, retired, it's kind of hard to work for anybody else. I didn't want to. So I talked her father, her stepdad, and her mother
Right.
into opening the business using her father's, or her stepfather's skills to make a business.
Right.
So I can run the business and I wouldn't have a boss. That's how it is over there.
We still get
We're
hot headed
all
with my
owners.
stepdad.
We're all three of us are on the lease. I'm part of the business, and I run the business. He takes care of the
Is
big
it a
body.
successful business?
Right now, yes, ma'am, it is.
Yes, it is.
So
It's
you
gotta
mad
take
at
time.
him
It's gotta take time, Your Honor.
you're mad at him because he got your family members, their
I'm
skills
not
and
mad at
his
him because
know-how,
of
he
that.
put them together
But you-
and make a business that is successful. And what is it you're mad about?
He couldn't keep up with his child. If he would have just kept a job,
Your Honor, she's
one
angry
job for a
because
long
I
time,
have
he wouldn't
caught
be
her
behind in
in
child
so
support.
many
He would-
lies
I
in
don't
this
care
whole
about the lies
relationship.
you've caught me in. I'm talking about your child
We're
support. That's
talking about text
responsibility. You're not
messages.
taking no responsibility.
So if magically somebody wrote a check today, cleared up his child support, you'd go home with it.
I would. You want to write it?
Oh, absolutely not.
When divorce court continues, does Vanessa have proof that Scott was unfaithful?
He was trying to holler at her. I even had it right here on the little message I just sent
Can I
her.
see? Mr. Lambaria, you about to get caught here?
If you would like your